everyone, welcome back. This is Caroline, and I make videos about my artwork, about my process, finding my niche, and a little bit about art therapy, as I am an art therapist as well. And today I am going to work on finishing the scribble painting. In my last video I showed a little bit more of a demonstration on how I started this type of painting. It is an abstract form of painting, and right now I am switching around the paper just to see which direction I want to paint, because this will be my final version of it, and so I want to lay the paper the direction it will be hung up if I choose to do that. And just trying to figure out what the layout I want. And I'm thinking I like this one the best. So I'm going to lay it flat on my board, and I just use regular painter's tape. You could use washi tape, whatever you prefer doing. I just have a lot of painter's tape, so I'm just using that. A lot of my supplies are inexpensive, things that you might accumulate and over time you might want to use. And this is the painting I'm going to work on for today. The first step I'm going to take with this is to outline the colors and the shapes, and then I'm going to layer up the paint color, because you could see the scribble underneath some of this, and some of that might be okay if you want to include that into your final version. But I'm going to go through and add a top layer of paint and smooth it out a little bit more where it's crisper. Now that my painting is completely finished with the second layer, I have a few areas where it's a little tacky, but for the most part this paint dries really quickly. Now I'm going to start adding in the little bit of details, a little bit more of the whimsical look that I'd like to add in. And let's just see what the painting ends up looking like at that point. It might take a whole new shape. There might be parts of this painting where images start emerging. So I'm going to take a small brush and I'm going to start using some colors as accent colors. And I'm going to start with dots. And I actually have like the point of the brush could be used as stipple dots, but I do have these plastic ones. They're for making mandalas, and I might use some of these as well. So let's see what ends up happening with this painting. I'll show you some of the tools I have. These are from the mandala kit that you could buy, and you put paint on the tip, and then you could put colors around your painting. And there's different sizes for those. So these are really nice, and you could find them. I believe I bought these off of Amazon. And I believe that I have a few more sizes. I just have to probably dig a little bit more in my supplies right now to find those. But that's what I have on hand. Also with that kit, I believe I have a package that went together. There's these more pen-like ones where they have very small tip. And it's the same principle. You dip in the paint and then you could stipple dot your paint on your paper. And then if you want something that's a little bit more inexpensive, then dowel rods, as long as you have like a saw, or you could buy a smaller size dowel rods that might be sufficient for putting in your hand. But this one is a small one, and you could buy them, and then if you have a little saw, you could cut them down. So you could have many different sizes, and these can break, so pressure is important to be mindful of. But the same principle, dip it in paint, and then you stipple dot. And as you see, I have used these before, and these are great as well, except the paint does not come off of it, so the paint might smear a little bit more if you don't have enough of these for all the colors that you want to use. want to overdo it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. And I didn't want to do all of them because it will flatten it out even more if there's nothing but dots, but you can make a painting with that if that is what you want. So I say give it a try. Yeah, give it a try with maybe doing stipple dots with these tools. Maybe like a shape of an apple or a heart, or something simple, so you get feel for the tool. And also if you want to do a painting that is full of stipple dots, starting out with something that is simple sometimes it will allow you to have better success. So that is just a piece of advice for it. But for something like this, it's really just enjoying the moment and just going with the flow of it. And right now, I don't want to add any more stipple dots, but I could change my mind later in the process. So I'm going to continue, and this time I think I'm going to pick up a brush and do some extra brush work on this painting. so you could see some of the details I put in with some of the dots, and I made larger circles and put dots in between them. I outlined some of the areas. I didn't do all of the shapes in the outline, but quite a bit of them I did. And so this is how you could use a scribble drawing on a paper and make a design, a painting. And sometimes you are pleasantly surprised with the outcome. Sometimes there's symbols that you could find in it. So I'm going to pull back the tape, and then I'm going to turn the paper around just so we can see each side of the painting. So this is the way I painted the picture. Now I'm going to switch it around and see what it looks like from other points of view. And this is really interesting, what it might look like. It looks like some kind of frog face here, some fish. Looks like under the sea maybe. This looks like some kind of interesting animal with a furry tail, maybe a one-eyed alien of some. Maybe this is the alien. Holding some kind of weapon, maybe. And this looks like everything's moving that way, and it looks like fish. So under the sea, things are swimming that way. This almost looks like a crab shape. So maybe that could be a crab. Maybe a crab got a hold of something, I don't know. This is another direction. This looks like a bird here. Looks like rocks. Maybe under the sea, maybe seaweed. I still think that's a crab. And then this original way I painted it. Now that I see everything else, what do I see in this, right? So this fish, but now they're going that way. But this looks like it's trying to pull this way and trying to take this with it, maybe. Is that still a crab? Yes, I still see that as a crab. So maybe this is a crab. I'm liking this version of it. This is probably how I would hang it, just because it seems more interesting. It seems like there's more of a story going on. So this is why this is really fun. It starts out with a scribble, and then it ends into these layers of colors, and then some whimsical pieces to it, and then I thank you so much for following me on this journey with this scribble. I'm going to do more. Probably a series of scribbles will be coming, just to show how they evolve and how they all could look really different. Also, I might use different mediums as well through this series, so I'm putting that together. So if you like what you see and you would like to see more, and remember, I do all sorts of artwork because I'm an art therapist and that was my niche. I don't really stick to one thing. So I'm going to give you some tasks with art therapy and some maybe more fine arts type of videos. But if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it, and you know how to do that. So thank you for those who have joined me. You have a nice day, and I'll see you at the next video.